The main themes, the energies, situations that could arise for Cancerians in the month of March 2025. Ooh, you have decrease, okay? So I would say just be careful of how much of your energy you're expelling in the month of March, okay? Because you run in danger of the well running dry, Cancer, okay? That's not something to be afraid of, but just something to be mindful of, okay? Make sure you're not overexerting yourself and you're not emotionally depleting yourself, okay? Because you know, Cancerians, right? And I say this with love, being a Cancerian myself, I get it, okay? It's easy to just keep going and going and going and giving and giving and giving until there's nothing left, okay? So you need to be discerning. You need to exercise your emotional intelligence when it comes to how much you can feasibly give, okay? And how much, like I say, you're exerting yourself, especially emotionally when it comes to emotional matters, okay? Because I do feel like you run the risk of emotionally depleting yourself, okay? You may even feel like you're experiencing emotional overwhelm at this time, or that's something you feel like could be, you know, coming up if you don't make some kind of adjustment or change now. What else do Cancerians need to know pertaining to this energy for Cancerians? Judgment, yeah, exactly. Like I say, you have to make a decision here. You're going to have to make a call here when it comes to realistically how much you can give, all right? Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is burn yourself out to the point where, you know, it's going to take a serious wake-up call, you know? And like I say, you know, your well-being is not something to toy with. It's not something to overlook, okay? So that's why you're being sort of given a heads up now to not reach that point of depletion, okay? Yeah, because you run the risk of that currently. So you've got to take care of yourself as well, Cancer. All right, tell me more about this for Cancerians. The World. The pattern of running yourself ragged or depleting yourself emotionally to the point of like burnout, numbness, or overwhelm, that needs to come to a complete and final end, okay? So this requires a change of approach, a different way of doing things. Because I feel like if you don't make a change, you know, the universe will force change in some shape or form. That's why we have two major arcana here, because it's like if you don't act, the universe will be forced to act on your behalf. So the last thing you want is any kind of scare coming up as a result of you just, you know, pushing yourself too hard, okay? Especially if you've been under a lot of stress or, like I say, emotional overwhelm, or, you know, you've just been giving too much when you really do need to start tending to yourself, okay? Yeah. Tell me more about this for Cancerians. Ace of Swords, exactly. But this is it. Like I said, you already know this though, right? With that Ace of Swords being here, this is what you're already consciously aware of. And I feel like you have been encouraged already by the universe to make sure you take care of yourself. You may even need to let go of some heavy emotions that you're still carrying. So it's not just about what you're giving and what you may be, in the ways in which you may be emotionally overexerting yourself, right? Because water speaks on emotions, right? We literally have it sifting through this person's hands, right? The well being dry, essentially, or being depleted, emotionally depleted, right? But I feel like this is nothing you're not already aware of. And it's not just that. It's also the ways in which you may be carrying emotional burdens that you need to release, okay? Things that you're still carrying from the past, things that have been weighing heavy on your heart, right? Painful memories or circumstances you've navigated. Maybe you're carrying emotional baggage that is not even your own, okay? There may be others, okay? But whatever it is, it's time to release it. And like I say, you'll know what this is, right? Because it will come into full view in the month of March for you to release it. So whatever's weighing heavy on you, it's time to let it go, okay? You don't need to carry the emotional burden anymore. And whatever you feel like is draining you emotionally, it's time to change your approach, okay? With how you deal with that, how you navigate it, and realistically be honest with what you can give and to what extent, okay? So there's definitely going to be a need to just be honest and take stock of where you're at, okay? And, you know, where you feel like you are being drained and what is weighing heavy on you that needs to be released, all right? So this is like a emotional well-being checkup, okay? This is like, you need to just check in with yourself and take stock of where you're at and what changes are going to be required. Yeah, exactly. The moon. That is all pertaining to the unconscious, right? Yeah. So shadow work would be really beneficial as well if you are if you are still carrying a lot of heaviness, okay, from past events or things that perhaps you have been suppressing, okay. Shadow work would serve you well. You may even get some clues and hints in the dream state of what is needing to be addressed, okay. And also you may come to realize, right, as you really take time to just introspect, that actually you may be drained at this time in various ways that you didn't even realize, okay? You didn't realize that this situation was having such a heavy emotional toll on you, or this person is too emotionally taxing on you, right? Whatever the case may be, yeah. Or that, you've been neglecting your own emotional needs. The situation. It's going to vary from person to person. Whatever it is, I feel like whatever's been lying dormant is going to surface so you can make this change. All right. Yeah, but you're going to be consciously aware of it, especially with that Ace of Swords. There's certain things you are already aware of, but there's more that's going to come to surface. Okay. And like I say, it may even start to do that in the dream state. So do pay attention to your dreams, especially in the month of March. Okay. Because that may give you some more telltale signs of what is still having a deep impact on you emotionally, okay? And you may, like I say, there may be some things that are escaping your sight right now as to what is needing to be released or what's needing to change, but you'll become more aware of it. Yeah, because I'm telling you, especially when it comes to heavy emotions, you're still carrying quite a bit, okay? And it is having an impact on you, right? Whether you're consciously aware of it or not, it is affecting you, okay? So it's definitely going to be a time for introspection, healing, release, okay? And like I say, maybe renegotiating how you show up, okay? Not just with other people, but also how you show up for yourself even, okay? Because I know, like I say, a lot of Cancerians, they'll put themselves on the back burner to show up for everyone else, okay? So you need to make sure you're not doing that. All things in moderation. So don't overexert yourself, and realistically, don't try to give more than what you currently have to give. And I think right now you do need to prioritize your own emotional well-being. It's to liberate you from carrying the emotional weight. What is the parting advice for Cancerians? Exactly, right? You have 28, gracious receptivity. This is about being gracious with yourself, okay? Being accepting, compassionate, understanding, giving yourself grace, and also being able to show grace to others. Yes. Because I feel like, there may be times as you're sitting with this energy and your shadow surfaces, you may even find you get a little bit testy or a little bit snappy or a little bit moody, okay? But in those moments where you feel that, instead of snapping at the other person, just take a step back and realize why that is, okay? So if you do get a little bit testy, make sure you do apologize and explain why that is, okay? But it's also important to just be aware of that, okay? That, like I say, if your shadow surfaces, you may find that you're going to be a little bit more easy to trigger, all right? So you just need to make sure that especially those close to you are aware of where you're at, okay? So they can also show up for you. Receptivity, being open to support, okay? Because you don't have to navigate this alone, okay? So if you have people wanting to show you support, and these people that truly care for you, let them show you a little bit of emotional support and compassion, okay? Because it's not easy, doing this sort of releasing and sifting and negotiate with yourself how you show up right now, not just for yourself, but also how you show up with others, okay? So there's a lot to take into account. So you're going to have to be gracious with yourself. You're going to have to give yourself a little bit of leeway, okay? And also show that to others, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now, so even if, they do things that can be a little bit triggering, just understand that it's not always malicious, okay? Because people are also going through their own process. So show grace to others, give yourself grace, okay? And accept the support that's offered to you. All right, that would be the advice here, okay? And you're going to be just fine. So I hope that helps.